Hey everyone, Christina here. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about this whole issue around social media and how it's causing a lot of mental fatigueness. And how can we set a purpose around our digital tools so that we use them with intent instead of abusing them and taking advantage of the freedom that we have to use these tools, because we have to not only serve other people, but we have to protect our own mindsets and our own energy, because if we don't, we're not going to be able to help the people that we want to help. Let's go. So this topic is a very interesting topic to talk about, because as mental health professionals, we have to show up on a platform that contradicts everything that we're trying to do, right? It's a platform that doesn't really promote wellness. And us as professionals have to show up, right? So, as a mental health professional, you do want to show up with the right energy and the right mindset. And it's very hard sometimes if we are also consumed by the digital tools and being consumed by social media's massive information and the endless scrolling. There is a lot of heaviness that comes from social media, and social media can also cause a lot of fatigueness deep within as well, that we might not even know. And it can also be overwhelming too. And you're trying to promote yourself and your services, but how can you when you're absolutely exhausted? So I have some points here that I want to bring to the table to really help you guys set a purpose around each of your digital tools. So the first one is journaling prompts. And I know that you guys love journaling, and I believe it's a very powerful tool. So some of the journaling prompts that I can share today is, how do I want to feel after, working on social media? So something like that as a prompt is interesting, because it changes your mindset in terms of, what do you want to get out of social media? What is the goal, right? I feel like blank when I work on Instagram or something. How can I change this? And that might help to prompt something too, where you ask yourself a couple of reflective questions. So, for example, for me, I feel very fatigued when I show up online or on Instagram. How can I change that? I can change the way that I show up, where maybe I lower the frequency of how much I post. Maybe I only post 3 times a week instead of 5 times a week. So I'm still showing up, but I'm lessening my time. What I can also do is cancel out the newsfeed, which I'll be sharing very soon in my future videos. But you can cancel out the newsfeed so that it prevents you from scrolling and you can focus on the task at hand. So those are some journaling prompts that helps to get you thinking. I think another one that I would say is, if I was to change anything about how I show up online, is, and then another ... your answer. There might be some more journaling prompts, but those are kind of the three that are coming up right now. Maybe some goals too. So for me to show up online, I want to feel blank. Or maybe three good points, 1, 2, 3. You can also state some goals. So maybe, showing up on social media, my goal is blank, blank, blank. Those are some good prompts to talk about. And, you know, if you don't really like journaling, there is some other ways to kind of relieve this obsession of jumping onto Facebook or jumping onto Instagram instantly. But another good way to do this is just by self-reflecting, whether it be journaling or actually just talking to yourself. You can do a live recording of yourself and just kind of reflect on how you've been feeling about showing up online. And I know many have been saying that they're burnt out. You know, they're tired of seeing ads online. They're tired of, you know, seeing the same things. You know, there's all these different things. So I would say take, maybe do this once a week. I would say maybe once a week, just journal or talk to yourself. Do some kind of filming, recording session with yourself to get clear on why you're feeling what you're feeling. Dig really deep into, you know, why am I showing up online? What am I trying to do? You know, why do I keep scrolling continuously on Facebook and not being as productive? So those are things that you have to get clear on, but really just self-reflect, right? Why am I feeling this way? How can I feel better? How did I fall into this, you know, headspace? And how can I change the way I approach on Facebook, social media, Instagram, however you want to word it? But self-reflection is the best way to kind of clear out any noise that's in your head and kind of reboot. So another thing that you can do is set a purpose for each of your devices so that you know in your head that, yep, my iPad is only for filming, or my computer is only for doing my client work. My phone is only for posting. However you want to organize all your digital tools, because I know that we have more than one digital tool. We have a laptop, an iPad, a phone, a large computer. You know, we got a lot of different technology now. But the question here is now, how do we set a purpose for each of our devices? I did this for myself because I found that I had an addiction issue to my phone and my computer. And what I did was I laid out my phone on the table with the face up, and I traced around it. And what I did was I put a little cobweb, so I did like a web graph, I think is what it's called. And basically I had a conversation with my phone where I said, you know, you are taking me away from doing art, painting, drawing, all the things that I used to do traditionally. That's one. Another one is, you keep me up at night. I'm losing sleep. I want my sleep back. You know, you prevent me from going outside and doing a bike ride. So I'm looking at everything as a whole via my phone. And I really touch upon the areas that made me upset. So I'm looking at this device and I'm saying, phone, you've taken me away from creating art. You've taken me away from exercising. You've taken me away from enjoying outside and going for walks. Those are the things that I love, and you've taken that away. And then what I do is I scribble over. Then what I do is I pull the phone away and I have a tracing of the phone. And inside the phone, I doodle a special doodle. So I was using curved lines because that's how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel in flow with my phone, knowing that I have power to control my actions on the phone. I can use my phone, you know, instantly when I need it and then easily put it away when I don't need it. And everything's very positive and that I'm in flow. So I'm using my phone maybe to record a session of me painting. So I'm trying to mix and match, both worlds. I do need my phone, I understand that, but I'm putting a boundary on my phone by doing this activity. And I found it very reflective, and it really kind of put me into a different perspective of how I look at my phone. I almost was disgusted at, looking at my phone and asking myself, wow, I could be doing so many better things right now. But, that happens to all of us on a collective level. So I can't blame myself that, all the technology that we have has, damaged our old times of doing things, our old habits. So this is now me changing a bad habit of being addicted to screens to cutting back on screen time and focusing on things that bring me value. And I've done that through that activity. So I really encourage you guys to try it. A way that I set some purpose in terms of how I was going to be using my phone. And basically you can even journal each of these. So you can have your device sitting out in front of you. And you can journal on each saying, my iPad is only used for filming. And when I have done my filming, I will put it away. And you can do the same with each of the devices as well. So when you write it down somewhere, it's hard coded into your head after that. So make sure you write it down so that you understand that each of your devices have a purpose. And this will avoid any sort of wandering where you jump onto Instagram, but you're actually on your iPad by accident. So removing any apps on there that don't really serve that purpose that you've called upon the device to be. So this is kind of how you can change that mindset around each of your devices. Journaling it or doing that activity that I just talked about. The last thing that I would suggest is doing a mindset shift. And basically what you can also do to just kind of change your habits and the addiction is to hold out your device in your hand. And you can even meditate on it, however you want to do it, but hold out your unit. You don't have to put it in your hand. You can sit it in front of you as you're meditating or as you're just detoxing your head space. But I want you to start changing your mindset around the device. How can you shift your thoughts around each of these devices? Because it's one of those things where, does it bring me joy? Does it not bring me joy? So you kind of want to do the pros and cons to each of your devices. What is my iPad doing for me right now? Oh, it's, letting me create. It's letting me, post things. It's letting me be, free to film all around in my house, or where if I want to go out, I can film where I go out. So there's some benefits, but what are the cons? Well, the cons is that I'm not exploring traditional art. I might get stiff. Posting, but it might cause me to jump into scrolling a lot. So you have to kind of balance each of the tools and how they're going to be used. And the mindset shift would be, okay, well, these tools are to help me market myself, right? So why just use them for that, right? We don't need to use them for other things. And those are some things to think about. I mean, there's a whole aspect of different activities, but these are things that I've done to shift that mindset of getting out of that icky space where you're stuck in the loop, where you're constantly just checking your phone for messages because you want to hear from somebody, or you're constantly on social media because you want to know that your postings are doing well. And then you want to, continue to nurture your people online. But this is where you start saying to yourself, okay, how many times do I want to show up online? And that's coming from a mindset shift, right? You don't have to show up every day. Maybe you only use your digital tools on Mondays. I mean, however you want to do it, you have the freedom to make those decisions. You have control over your life. Don't let the devices control you. So that's pretty much all I have today for that topic. There's going to be more coming, but I really wanted to address this issue with social media and mental health, not only just for normal people, but for actual mental health professionals who need to show up and promote themselves online on platforms that don't really promote wellness. It's really hard, and I really honor you guys as a mental health professional, bringing strength and inspiration to these platforms, because it needs to be done. It's so negative, and we need to change that mindset and this illusion that life is perfect on social media, where everything, is hidden. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So yeah, I mean, now I'm going to sum up everything that I've talked about and what you can start implementing now. So the first thing that I would do is start doing some journaling prompts. And I know that the internet has lots of different prompts for this, but the ones that have worked for me were ones that were goal setting ones, and ones that ask, how do I actually want to feel showing up online? Those are ones that really spark, the motivation within, and to help me rethink and refocus, because that's what happens sometimes. We have to reset the whole system to be able to come back in a different headspace. So if you have to take a break from social media to do this, do that. The next thing to do is just sit with the feelings and to self-reflect and ask yourself, why did this happen? Why am I constantly coming online and wasting time that I could be, creating a really good offer, or, answering emails that people have been waiting for? So those are things to really harness and change, because your energy matters. And if your energy is not in the right headspace when you're coming online, it's going to be transparent. They're going to see right through you. So let's not have that. And let's address right from the roots via you taking some self-care time for yourself to reflect, to journal, to rethink, and then doing that activity, setting a purpose for all of your devices, whether it's through the activity of doodling or the activity of actually just journaling and hard coding it into your head, what each of these and devices lastly, are going to do. Really putting together a mindset shift, whether it's affirmations, whether it's just constantly reminding yourself about each of the boundaries that you set for yourself. Those are some things to think about moving forward. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a journey, but start now, because we are here as empaths, and we are here to help, right? We are helpers. We want to help others with their problems and seek positive approaches and see the light at the end of the tunnel. But we can't do that if we are locked in our own darkness. So that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I wanted to share that today, and I hope that this was valuable. If you have any other techniques that you want to share, feel free to comment below. I'm curious. I'm always into improving myself, improving my mental space. And if there's any other questions that you want me to answer, also comment down below. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. Have a good day. Bye.